All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Appreciate it as always. Let me know how it sounds, and we will move on from there. So, tonight's live stream is not going to be too long. Probably going to keep it around 10, 20 minutes. Um, because, like I said, I got to go for a walk and close these fucking rings off. That is my stay in shape. Um, how you say? It's my reasons for staying in shape, or it's keeping me in shape because I got to close my rings off on my Apple Watch. Yes, my wrist tracking device. Thank you for the 5x5, guys. Adriana, thank you for the 5x5. Jammin' Jake, WTC, appreciate the 5x5, guys. Thank you. Rambolette and Ghost Lincoln, thank you for it, guys. So, with that, guys, we're going to talk about Mr. Trump getting arrested, or ex-president, or however the hell you pronounce his name. I don't see, guys, this thing. Look, to be fair, New York State, guys, is making a big to-do about this. All right, so leave it to them, or rather, the DA and the New York City District Attorney Alvin Braggs. Right, he's making a big to-do about this. McBean, exactly, it's a distraction. Now, I'm wondering if the White House called up Alvin Braggs and was like, "Hey, man, listen, we're going to need you to, you know, create a distraction for us because we're not looking too good right now, and we'll promise you a seat at the table if you come up with some kind of distraction." And then here they go with some bullshit because he gave hush money to a porn star. This is where we are in America right now. We are putting people before judge and jury for giving a porn star hush money. Now, the charge itself, I'm not sure what it was, but it's a misdemeanor. At least here in New York State it is. And we're watching the Biden family. Their entire dirty laundry is being aired, if you will, and it's out there for the world to see, and no one is focusing on it. Now, yes, New York Post, maybe the Times, they're talking about it, but then that's it. Nobody's making a big to-do. It's even to a point, guys, that conservatives and Republicans are not even making a big to-do. Now, yes, they might tweet this, they might put it on their Instagram, but they're not standing before media and picking bones over this shit. They should be like, well, why is Hunter Biden and his father, who's connected to these illegal deals, not being fucking brought in front of court, right? Now, I know that they said that there's some kind of committee looking into Hunter Biden's dealings with China, if I'm not mistaken. They're not even touching the Ukraine yet, and I know why they're not touching the Ukraine. But they're looking at the Chinese deals that Hunter Biden and Hunter Biden's brother, I forgot his name, made. Now, the big question is, of course, we know the answer to this, but the big question is, did President Biden, or at the time, Vice President Biden, have any connections with these dealings? Of course he did. He fast-tracked these dealings. We all know he did. Nonetheless, they are telling us now that, well, okay, that's not a big deal because we have to go after the guy that paid a hooker off with some hush money. Hush money versus illegal dealings in China. Wonder which one weighs more, right? So it's insane, guys, that, people are sitting, and then you got these the liberals. Now, listen, bless their retarded hearts, but they're out there with signs going, get him, arrest him, yes. I'm like, for that? Like, listen, if you're going to go after him for anything, let it be something a little more egregious, something that holds weight, something that's going to give him props in jail. That shit isn't going to get him. First of all, it's not going to land him in jail at all. It's a misdemeanor, so at best it's a slap on the wrist and a fine. That's all it is. But if he was to go to jail, they would probably make fun of him. You're in here because you paid off a whore? Like, that's going to be the guys. So, of course, they were supposed to arrest him today, Tuesday. That didn't happen, and I knew it wasn't going to happen. They're saying that it's going to be tomorrow, they're going to indict him, and next week he's going to hand himself in. And that's that. That's all it is. But of course, breaking news every day. Oh, breaking news. He might get indicted tomorrow. I can guarantee you they'll probably push it to Thursday. Now, Alvin Braggs, guys, keep this in mind. He's the New York City DA, district attorney, or is it New York State? Maybe it's New York City or New York State. I can't remember one, but nonetheless, he's a district attorney DA. He drops charges, guys, on people that commit way more egregious crimes, muggings, beatings, stealing from stores, breaking up stores and stealing from stores. He lets these people go and he gets their charges dropped. But pay off a porn star and you gotta have your time in front of the judge. Fucking kidding me? Old hippie, I'm gonna be in New York for a little longer than I would like. Unfortunately. I'm not going to get into it now. I'll get into it in the Angry Prepper this week. Again, I had another major setback, and it is what it is. But I have two choices. I'd rather not the second choice. But if it comes down to it, yeah, my second choice is not going to be. It's not going to be a fun choice, but I could deal with it. And unfortunately, that's the boat I'm in now. But I will discuss it a little more down the line on the Angry Prepper channel, not on here. Let's stay focused on here. Anyway, Tiger 13. I don't think Alvin Braggs was bought and paid by Soros. I really don't. No, and yes, Adriana, thank you for bringing it up. You got people smoking weed on the train. Now, is it still illegal to smoke weed on the train? Yes, it is. According to the MTA's rules, it's still illegal to smoke weed. Dan Phillips, I'm leaving New York City. I'm just not leaving it as fast as I would like. But like I said, I got a couple things in play. I got to see what pans out. But of course, leave it to me and my bad luck. Shit happens, man. You know? But anyway, so again, guys, you're in New York City. You could do almost anything you want. Shit, man. You could punch a cop in the face, say it's self-defense, and then that's it. You're out. But again, pay a hook or whore, and they're fucking reading you the riot act over that. So, like I said, guys, it's a big distraction. It's to get the Biden family out of the spotlight that they're currently in. Of course, there are some conservatives and Republicans that are keeping the spotlight on them, but it's not enough. You would think the entire Republican gang would fucking put on leather jackets, chains, and bats and go, "We got you." They're not doing that. They're not doing that. There are a lot of them are staying fucking quiet, and I don't know if they're staying quiet because of election season next year. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I know. Some people seem to think, guys, that Trump is being targeted because of the election. It doesn't matter. Trump could still run for president from behind bars. But he is not going to go to jail over this. He's just not. And they're going to drag this out for a couple of years. That's the crazy shit. This is something that can be squared away and squashed. This is something that was actually squared away and squashed on a federal level. So, of course, they kick it down to the state level and then to the city level. They were going to bring it up on the state level. And then, what's her name? Letitia James just let it go, kicked it down to the city. Now, Alvin Braggs is going to stick with it. Yeah, this beard is getting gray, right? And it's funny. I like it. I don't mind it. I don't care. You know what's not getting gray? My mustache. That's the crazy shit. My mother asked me the other day. She's like, "Are you dyeing your mustache?" I'm like, "What am I, fucking, 60-year-old gay man? No, I'm not fucking dyeing my mustache." She goes, "It looks," I said, "No, it hasn't turned black. It hasn't turned gray yet, like at all. With all of this shit." She goes, "Your beard is so gray." And I'm like, "I know. This shit won't turn gray." But I got a fucking gray hair on my chest. Go fucking figure that out, right? And I don't know if it grew back. I haven't looked. I don't want to look because every time I look, I feel like I aged 5 years. Oh my God, it's another gray hair, right? That's 5 more years I aged. Whatever. I haven't reached. I haven't looked down since I fucking saw the other one and out of a panic plucked it out. So whatever. Adriana, thank you for the background. I like the background too. Somebody was bitching and moaning the other day that I should change the background, and I'm like, so I found it and I changed it. I got a couple more. I'm gonna get a couple more and change them out, periodically. Some chicks like gray ball hairs. I don't know. I wouldn't know. So I don't. I wouldn't know. I'm not even going to entertain it after that. I wouldn't know. Anyway, so gay hairs on his chest. Someone said gay hairs on his chest. Yeah. Someone said my son went gray at 22. You know what? It took me a while. I think I hit 39, maybe 40 before I saw my first gray on my face. Maybe it was 40. So yeah, I'm 45. So it's about right. It doesn't add all the stresses and shit going on. That I have going on that is adding to the. But on my head, I got like maybe I don't know. Like first of all, I don't have any hair. But I have like around here, I have like one or two spots of gray. Like it's not if that, I don't know. Maybe it's one or two. Who knows? But it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Trump in jail yet? T96. He's not in jail yet. He's going to surrender himself. So here's a part of the issue with the whole Trump thing. The Secret Service wasn't having it. They were like, we're not going to do a perp walk. We're not going to put cuffs on him because the whole point of it is that they wanted to put a dog and pony show to put him in cuffs. The Secret Service says, we're not doing that. So they were like, all right. So then the DA, Alvin Braggs, goes back and forth with them about doing a perp walk. They're like, we're not doing that either. So the Secret Service is actually doing their fucking job and protecting him, even from putting cuffs on him, which is awesome. So what they're saying is like what he's going to do is you're going to indict him, and then he's going to come down and he's going to surrender. Now, clearly, guys, when he comes to surrender, that is going to be a fucking fanfare. If I could figure out what precinct he's going to be at, I'll see if I could live stream the pandemonium. Not so much him going in because it's not really much, but I want to record the pandemonium going down. So just to see the liberals screaming yes as he goes in, and any Trump supporters going crying and tears coming. I want to film both sides if I can catch it. We shall see what happens. But supposedly he's going to hand himself in next week Tuesday. So they already have they have it all planned out, man. It's all planned out. Yeah, so it's a, what you call it? It's a shit show, man. And it's a fucking dog and pony show. And of course they're going to talk about this. And anything that the Biden family has done since is going to be not swept away, but forgotten about. Because the problem with society, guys, hey, Jamie, what's going on? The problem with society, guys, is that we are like goldfish. We forget as soon as the shit happens. But some of us don't forget. Some of us hang on to it. Some of us remember the bullshit. We're not stupid. We weren't born fucking yesterday. So with that, guys, a lot of us are going to remember, for example, the people who talk shit about the unvaccinated. Right? For those of us who didn't take the arm ticket, remember those celebrities that were like they shouldn't fucking be able to go outside if you don't take the arm ticket, fuck you. You're our enemy now. Remember all of that shit? Remember those celebrities? What was it? The guy from Kiss, Gene Simmons is his name, right? Who else? Howard Stern. Shit, so many. So many. I can't remember. Those are the two that I can remember because they were the two oldest guys. I forgot a couple of others that were just talking so much shit about us. Now you don't hear a fucking peep out of them. Right? Fauci was one of them as well. Another one fucking talking shit. And all of these people talk shit about us, but they want us to forget about that. Oh, now it's a time for America to heal. We got over this pandemic, and now we have to make sure that America heals together. Listen, I hope your dick falls off for fucking taking the arm ticket. That's what I used to say. Now I'm just like, now I'm looking at people in the news going, arm ticket, all of these people that suddenly pass away. Let's go. Okay, let's get demonetized tonight because it's going to happen. We're getting demonetized tonight because we're going to talk about a couple of things that are going to rub the elites the wrong way. Let's see if I can pull it up. Now, I know Livingston Man hates this news app I use, but I sort of swear by it. Newsbreak. So for those of you that don't know, Newsbreak is an app that compiles all news articles in one spot, right? So what I do with Newsbreak is that I scroll through it and I see people who passed away suddenly. Now there was a TikTok or a TikToker that died suddenly. Let's see if I can pull up some of these articles. But I find it interesting, guys, that these people are, and in the article it's stating such. For example, man, I can't fucking. Bruce Willis, a lot of you know he's got dementia now. Poor guy, can't even remember his fucking name. That sucks. That's all right. Let me see if I have to. Let's see. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, TikTok star Jane, I think that's how you say her name, Thomas, uh, passes away suddenly at 30. Shit, let's fucking click into that article. Sometimes you get neighboring articles, or maybe not. All right, good. Here we go. Actor who had a role in the Walking Dead and Blue's Clue, dead at 28. That's another one who died suddenly. And some of these people, they said no cause of death was given. That's something that they say a lot. Jeff Thomas, 35, top model and influencer, uh, died after falling from his Miami apartment. That doesn't count. Amanda Bynes running nude in the fucking street as per usual. Um, Jesus, man, so many and now none of it's popping up because, of course, I'm doing this. But there was a lot of fucking stars this week alone, guys, that died suddenly, right? Uh, Lyle, I can't pronounce it. Be gay, Lyle. Be gay, Lyle. Yeah, he was another one. You're right, and that's the thing, guys. So many of these fucking stars are just like, what the fuck? Like Kevin Bacon just said, yes, thank you, Escape the Matrix. The MMA fighter, 27 years old, died. Yes, Lori Lapukis, if I said that right. But Kevin Bacon, and George Lopez, these two people defending drag queen shows for kids. What does that say about them? Now, I fucking Kevin Bacon's like one of my favorite actors, right? But now he's sitting there talking about, oh, if you're against drag, no, wait, George Lopez said if you're against drag, you're my enemy, and that drag queen shows are actors and they're performers, and that's their right. Yeah, it's their right to perform in front of other adults, not kids. Nobody has a problem with drag queen shows in front of adults. They have a problem in front of kids. Now, me personally, I don't like drag queen shows. I don't see what it's about a grown fucking man getting dressed up, prancing around like a fucking asshole, pretending to be Cher or Liza Minnelli or Barbara Streisand. I don't get it. I don't understand. And people like, it's pretty funny. So the fuck is Kevin Hart. You know, like, I mean, I don't see why a grown man has to dress like that. And some of these guys, it's like they act more feminine than an actual chick. I don't get it. I don't understand drag queen shows. It's not my cup of tea, but at least it's with adults. At least when, you know, it was popular, it was around adults. But now you got grown men performing in front of kids, and you have drag queens saying, why the fuck are these guys performing in front of kids? So and some of these drag queens, to be fair, the ones that are asking why are you performing in front of kids, these are old school guys. These are guys that have probably been doing it for like 20, 30 years, and they're like, this is stupid and this is wrong. Now, a lot of those drag queens are losing jobs because they're making a stand. So I don't know if they and drag queen guys, it's a part-time thing. It's they get dressed for an hour or two. It takes them 8 hours to put that shit on. They perform for an hour or two. It takes them 9 hours to get it off. I don't understand it. But the guys who are fighting against the drag queens forming in front of kids, they're losing a lot of jobs. So these guys know that they're getting blacklisted and they don't give a fuck. That takes some kind of balls when you lose your work, when you lose your livelihood, to stand up against what's going on with kids. So I do applaud those dudes, the old school drag queen guys, who are taking a stand and losing gigs. Hell, there are gay people, lesbians, transgenders that are losing gigs because they're taking a stand against kids being mutilated. Right? So there's a couple of transgenders. One is Blair White. And I only follow him, her, because the thing she says or he says is so spot on. And he'll say it himself. He'll be like, listen, I'm a chick. I feel comfortable this way. This is what I am. But I'm not expecting you to think that I'm a chick if you don't want to call me a chick. And he laid it out there just like that and has no problems with it. But yet the rest of society feels like they got to fucking run and neuter their kids now. Now, look, some of you might have heard of Jazz, right? Or I think the Jasmine and Jazz, that was the teenage drag queen girl, sorry, transgender girl, who's now regretting her surgery. Now, I knew that this kid was going to come to this point. I knew it. I don't know why. I hate to admit it, but I watched a few episodes of this kid. This kid's called Jazz something, and Jazz Jennings. Thank you, Adriana. And she has her own show. I forgot what channel, and I remember it was a rainstorm. We were in Wildwood, and it was on, and I'm like, all right, there's nothing else. Let's just watch this. For whatever reason, that was the only fucking channel that worked. So I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, this is stupid. This is dumb. This is stupid. This is dumb. This kid's gonna regret it. This is dumb. So the whole time I'm saying this shit, and I go, I'm sitting there like, this is fucking stupid. This kid's gonna regret this fucking move. Lo and fucking behold, a week ago, Jazz Jennings states regrets getting the surgery. The kid got the full boat surgery, guys. Snip, snip. Mr. Winky fell off. All right? Right? So I find it interesting, guys, that these people are making their kids or having their kids make a decision they cannot come back from. Yes. Can some of these kids take puberty blockers and stop? Yes. Can they get the breast removal done? Yes. But once you cut off Mr. Winky, it's done. You can't reverse that. Right? And so now these kids are having major regret. I will fucking bet, guys, my fucking pension that Jazz Jennings is going to become a psych patient and possible suicide because the amount of regret that this kid has for doing what he did. And the fact that the parents, the mother specifically, was pushing this operation to be done. And to boot, the kid, Jazz Jennings, is having so many medical problems now with this procedure. Bad problems. The infections and all this other bullshit. Now, keep in mind, guys, when you cut off Mr. Winky, yes, when you cut it off, keep this in mind. The human body will heal all wounds, but not natural wounds like a woman's vagina. Or an opening, rather, sorry. If you take a man's thing, Mr. Winky, cut it, turn it inside out, and then push it back up into that void that creates a vagina, the body is going to want to heal itself. And this is what this kid is running into right now. This kid is running into that problem where the body is fighting hard to heal itself. And they're running into these problems. And there's something called a spacer or a gap or some crazy shit that these transgenders have to put in themselves to keep it open, to train it to keep it open. The problem is, guys, this is always going to want to heal. Sort of like the hole in your ear when you get an earring, right? I know a lot of people are like, oh, the hole stays open. I used to rock an earring when I was fucking, 15, 16 years old. This fucking hole is closed up. You can't even see it anymore. And I was rocking it for like 10, 15 years, right? No, maybe not that long. Maybe like, maybe 10, 15 years I was rocking it for that long. And now it's completely closed. So what do you think is going to happen? Dilator. Thank you, Balance. Right, it's called a dilator. And what do you think is going to happen to everybody who has that? Right? Every transgender person that has this. It's going to close up. That's what the body's meant to do. You can't train it to do anything else. Now, of course, they're going to do DNA manipulation in the future to have that not happen. But what are you going to fucking do for now? That option's not on the table. So, unfortunately, guys, a lot of this shit, guys, it turns into a very bad day for these people. Very bad day. When a lot of them get sick behind it, too. Because now this thing is healing itself up. Now what? Right? Where do you piss out of when that heals up? Right? So, again, unnatural horrific surgery, guys, is being met with natural healing, what the body's supposed to do. So anyway, do I feel bad for the kids? Yes, because the kids are being coached by the parents. Now, Jazz Jennings' mother should be thrown in jail. If you look at this lady, especially now, if you look at the interviews with her now, she sits there on her high horse and she is so smug now. If you looked at her in the beginning of the TV show or the beginning of when the kid was transitioning, the mother was like almost like scared. She was always like scared all the time. Now she's like, I'm so proud I did this to my daughter. Yeah, you wrecked your fucking daughter, your son's lower parts. But here we are. Mr. Winky's his prep kits. Very nice. But listen, it's a fucking problem that these people are gonna attend. And you can't, I mean, I feel bad for the kids that are getting this done. I don't feel bad for the adults. And the adults should know this. They should know better, but whatever, that's up to them. As far as all this other bullshit that's going on, guys, I don't know. I mean, this country's falling apart really fucking fast, man. Like super fast. I've never seen anything like it. People will argue that we've gone through this time and period before, if you want to talk about the Vietnam War era, where times were changing fast back then. Then we went through this lull. But now we're back to the fast changing times now. But what's speeding up and keeping that transition to change happening longer and faster is technology. Technology is changing everything quickly because it's allowing people to be stupider, right? So, Miss John Johnson, thank you for bringing it up. She says 500% increase in child size coffin ordered nationwide in the past 7 months. Thank you for bringing it up because I just read an article before I got on the Angry Prepper show how child passings are up as well. So it's interesting that you put that up there. But yeah, guys, what else could it fucking be, right? I mean, again, they're going to continue to make us look like the bad guy. They're going to continue to make us look like assholes and idiots. Fine, so be it. But we are not slowly, but quickly becoming recognized because all the conspiracy theory guys that we fucking have said and mentioned and shared and got from other people, it's all coming true. Knuckles and Adam's apples. Definitely hands. Hands are definitely a thing, man. Fucking lady with big ass hands. Remember that Seinfeld episode with the lady with the man hands? That was fucking funny. But yeah, Vincent Boogaloo, that's the thing. If you're an adult, do whatever the fuck you want to do, man. Listen, again, gay people, they do what they want to. I lived in New York City, so this is why I guess I have an issue with the gay fight and the transgender fight. I grew up here in the city, and I really didn't see them getting picked on or bothered too much. Maybe that's, I don't know. Like, I used to go to the Village and hang out at this restaurant. It was a really good restaurant, man. It was a Chinese Cuban fusion restaurant. Forgot the name of it, but they had good food there. But, I lived at 28th Street, so there were gays all over the place, man. They were fucking sprinkled everywhere. Gays all over. The lesbians, gays and lesbians having street fights and shit, Transgenders fucking jumping in the middle of it, fucking fist fighting with each other. That's how it went down. And we were used to it here in the city. But when gays gripe about the shit they gripe about, I'm like, you fucking kidding me? You guys have everything here in the city. They're like, well, we don't have it nationwide. You don't need it nationwide. Just stay to fucking New York and San Francisco. You'll be fine. That was always my argument with them. Because I just didn't see them being treated badly. But everybody has a fucking woe is me story now. Everybody. Fucking the black community. Woe is me. Oh, slavery. Look at me. Oh, I need reparations, right? Then you got fucking gay people. Oh, my God. People don't like us because we're gay. No, we don't like you because you're a fucking asshole. Now, guys, I don't know how many of you remember me saying this about a couple of years ago. And I said this before, and now it's catching on. The new age transgender, not the old school guys or women, the new school transgenders are starting this bullshit where they're going on TikTok and they're crying about not getting dates or dates refusing them because they're transgender. Remember, I said that this was going to catch on, that they were going to start making straight men feel bad for not dating them. And the trend is starting. It started actually in the UK on a TV show where where a transgender dude playing a chick was trying to kiss a guy, straight guy, and the guy was like, whoa, I don't do that. And the fucking dude, the transgender, was like, oh, what? You're transphobic? He's like, no, I just don't want to kiss another guy. Off to the races that fucking argument went. And even the fucking host of the show was like, he's like, no. He's like, we're not going to play that. He's like, he wants nothing to do with you. He doesn't want to date a transgender. He says, whether you're a female or male, he doesn't want anything to do with you. And so that was back in 2016 or 15. Here we are in 2023. Now you got transgender, this new school, these young kids going on saying they don't want to date me because I used to be a man. Listen, it's their preference. Listen, guys can date whoever the fuck they want to date. But if they don't want to date you because you're transgender, guess what? You got dudes out there that don't want to date fat chicks. You got dudes out there that don't want to date skinny chicks. So now all of a sudden they're transphobic because they don't want to date you, even though, I have to say this, there are women here, fat women, who are starting the argument that you're fat phobic if you don't date them. Go fucking figure. You have black women saying you're racist if you don't date black women. Everybody is picking the woe is me fight. Everyone. And I don't get it. You know, if everybody stays in a respective corner, listen, if you're transgender and you look like a chick and you're dating a dude, you clearly have to tell him you used to be a guy. I know that there's some transgenders out there that look they're so much like a female. Even if they told you they were a dude, you'd be like, yo, you're lying, you know? But this new shit out here, telling guys they're transphobic for not dating, telling somebody, hey, you don't want to date me because I'm fat, you're an asshole. Imagine this is where we are now. We're fucking here where if you don't date somebody, you're fucking, you're an asshole. You're fat phobic. First of all, fat phobic is not even a thing. That's not. I hate even saying that word because it's not a fucking thing. There are people out there that like fat women. There are people that don't. Simple. There are guys out there that like skinny chicks, and there are guys that don't. Simple. Right, and it's probably they're probably going to blame white supremacy and Christianity and all this other bullshit. Freedom for all. I talk about this because it's my channel and I want to, and the conversation leads that way. I don't know. You pick. You choose. Right? I mean, listen, guys. They're. Oh, I don't understand. I don't get it. And everybody picks a fight now. For example, you don't want to talk to somebody, and you happen to be white, and you don't want to talk to a dude because this dude looks like an asshole. But that asshole-looking dude happens to be black. He's going to think you're racist because you don't want to talk to him. Meanwhile, you're just looking at him because you're like, yo, he looks like a dick. You ever looked at somebody that looked like an asshole or a dick, and you're like, I want nothing to do with them? Has nothing to do with race. Just has everything to do with that person, you know, you don't want to fucking say anything to them. But today's society, man, this is where we are. We want to fucking pick a fight. We want to lay blame. I don't understand it. Just leave everybody the fuck alone. If a guy wants to date you and you tell him you used to be a dude and he's fine with it, so be it. Now fat women, it's up front, right? It's clearly up front. You can't really lie about it. Though when I used to date online a long time ago, women would hold the camera in such a way they look thinner than they really were. And then you met them and you were like, man, you fucking lied to me. You're big as a house, you know? I'd still go on a date with them anyway. I just didn't appreciate them lying about the fucking size. That's a different story for a different day. But, you know, I mean, a black woman hitting on a white guy and a white guy going, you're not really my type, automatically she goes with racism. Oh, he doesn't like dating black women. Maybe he doesn't like... Listen, guys, it's okay not to date a race. If you don't want to date black women, you don't want to date white women, it's okay. It's fine. It's not your racist. That's not your thing. It just isn't, right? You don't want to date a short chick. You don't want to date a chick that's fucking, 4'11". You don't want to date a tall chick who's fucking 6'1". It's fine. It's fucking fine. It's up to you. But to start pigeonholing people into name calling and putting them in groups, Finkel as Ihorn. I was waiting for somebody to put that up. To pigeonholing these people in the groups doesn't make fucking sense. And it creates more division. You know? Fuck. What I mean, is there any group of women I wouldn't date? Probably not. Right? Probably not. But then again, I grew up in New York City, so I grew up in this melting pot and were able to deal with all kinds of women, you know? But yeah, for those of you that are joining us pretty late, yeah, I already talked about him not getting arrested and why. Viet says I don't date Asian women. Yeah, listen. Me personally, I don't date black women, and I only don't date black women because black women don't find me attractive, if that makes sense, right? That's my thing. Though my ex-wife, my first ex-wife, is black, but she's also half Native American. Most black women don't find me interesting unless they see me with a white woman, and then they're like, "Oh my God, why is he with her?" You know, when I'm with my wife walking in the street, they're like, "Oh, why is he with that Puerto Rican chick?" Like, they always have a problem after the fact. It is what it is, man. You know, but so I just tend not that I don't, I just tend to stay away because that's been my experience. You know, but don't get me wrong. Obviously, if a black chick was to hit on me, yeah, 100%. But it's your experience, guys. It's what you deal with. It's what you had. You know, sometimes a person just so happen to be white and set you in for a bad experience, and you might be like, "I'm not dating fucking white chicks anymore." You know. Yeah, Vincent Boogaloo, you'll take a blonde Russian, and she'll take your money and your fucking your marriage certificate, or rather, take you for her green card. That's one group of women I wouldn't fuck around with. Russian women, I'm out on them. I know too many guys, man, who were taken for a ride by, and I'm talking about Russian women from Russia, like not Americanized Russian women, but you know, Russian women straight from Russia. I've seen them taken for a fucking ride. Dr. Pop said dating is trash right now. You know what, man? I don't know how dating is trash when there are so many more women than men, and there's so many fucking more gay dudes out there than there were 10 years ago, right? So women have a smaller pool of men to pick from. We have a bigger pool. I guess that's how it works. We have a bigger pool to pick from, men picking women, because there's so many more women than men. But yet somehow guys are finding it a hard time to find women. Oops, sorry. It's just that's insane to me, you know. Passports, bro. Yeah, I guess. Somebody just made. What will okay? What will Jason do when transgender women say, "Why is he with her?" That's coming too. RWD channel. That's definitely coming. You could definitely see that. Oh, why? You see? You know what the other new thing is that I just fucking was. I was just made privy to. Gay guys that hit on only straight men. I'm. I wish. Now listen. If a gay guy's gonna hit on you, that must mean, at least in my book, you're giving off gay vibes. All right. The last time a gay guy hit on me, it was 20 years ago, maybe more than that. Maybe it was 25 years ago now. Shit, I walked into a candy shop, and this is a candy shop on by 42nd Street, Times Square. And I walk into the store, and the gay guy behind the counter goes, "Where have you been all my life?" Now, keep in mind, I walk into an empty candy shop. I see the guy. I could tell he's gay the way he's floating around the store. So he goes, "Where have you been all my life?" And I stop and I go, I'm like, and I step back outside and I look down the block and I'm like, he goes, "I'm talking to you." And I'm like, so now I'm still looking around like, the fuck is he talking to? And he goes, "I'm talking to you." I go, I know what you're going to say, candy shop. I know. How fucking ironic, right? So anyway, he goes, I, I said, "Yeah, I'm not gay." He go, he goes, he goes, he goes, "Well, that's okay. You could take whatever you want from the store." As soon as he said that, I was like, "No, thank you, sir." It's like about to leave. He's like, "Well," he's like, I didn't mean to offend you." He goes, "But you know, you're really handsome." And I go, "Okay, thank you." He's like, "You ever thought about switching teams?" And I go, "No." He goes, "Don't knock it till you try it." I go, you ever been knocked out? He goes, no. I said, how about you try that? He was like, and he sort of collapsed into himself. And he was a tall dude. He collapsed into himself and then walked away. I was like, fucking, I wanted to run out of the store, but after I made that stance, I had to walk out like I fucking owned the place. But I was just like, what the fuck, man? Never went back into that shop ever again. I saw chicks working in there, and I still didn't want to go back in there. I was like, this fucking dude, I think he was going to rape me. He was going to throw candy on the floor. And I don't know what the fuck his plan was, but I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I clearly, and this is back then when gay guys were a little more brazen. These old school guys were way more brazen. But yo, he was just like, fucking, where have you been all my... And when he said it, where have you been all my life? It was like he floated across the fucking store when he said it. I was like, is this guy on rollerblades? What's going the fuck on? The way he was just like fucking floating over to me. I was like, what the hell? So never walked back into that store. And the store is gone now. A lot of those stores down there changed down by 42nd Street. Mike Marley, no, he did not get arrested. Trump is not getting arrested. Trump is going to hand himself in or hand himself over. So yeah, guys, it was fuck that, man. And yo, I was just like, so I go home to my first wife, my ex-wife, and I tell her the story. She thinks it's fucking funny. She's laughing her fucking asshole. She's howling around the fucking the apartment. She's like, that is so funny. She's calling her friends up and laughing into their phone. I'm like, really? If that chick was fucking a hot 10 and she hit on me like that, would it be that funny? She was like, no, but I know you wouldn't go with a guy, but you go with a chick. I'm like, well, I wouldn't go with the chick either. But so why is it so fucking funny? She's like, it's always funny when a fucking straight guy gets hit on by a gay guy. No, it's not. It's like, people used to say, oh, I'm flattered when a gay guy hits on me. Why would you be flattered when a gay guy hits on you? Gay men, like straight men, will bang anything. Straight men will bang almost any fucking woman. And gay guys, as you can clearly see, they'll bang each other just to say hello. Right? And so why is that flattering? Is it flattering when a fucking ugly guy hits on a hot chick? No, it's not, right? Ladies, I know a lot of you will agree, if a guy looks like some fucking, backcountry snaggletooth, what you call it, right? And he says, hey, baby, what's going on? You're going to be like, ew, get away from me, right? But if he's like fucking Jason Momoa and he says, hey, baby, what's going on? You guys are throwing your underwears at him, right? Throwing your fucking bang and like, oh, and you guys jump on his dick like that. It's about what a guy looks like, right? And it's about what a chick looks like. If a fat, ugly chick hits on a guy's going to be like, yo, get the fuck away from me. But if fucking, Tyra Banks comes around and hits on that same dude, he's going to be like, oh, come here, right? So it's about looks, guys. And if a guy is straight, he's definitely not going to look at that dude and be like, oh, thank you for hitting on me. Get the fuck away from me, right? And that's it. Now, yes, initially, if a guy hits on you, go, oh, thank you, I'm not into dudes. And that's where the conversation should end. But in his case, he wanted to be like, don't knock it till you try. And I'm like, well, I'll fucking knock you out. We can try that, But anyway, it's all about preference as well. That's what it comes down to, too. Don't get me wrong, man. Like, I there was a chick that hit on me once, and she was like, I mean, man, if she could have fucking thrown her fucking underwears at me, she would have. And I was just like, no. Like she kept asking me questions and I was like, no. See, Kathy ever seen us at Jason Momoa? Hell yeah. So she kept asking, I'm like, no. I said, so listen, I'm like, I can't go out with you. And she was not my type. She was like, I don't want to be an asshole about it. She just wasn't my type. And she just kept, she kept me like, I said, just why not? And I'm like, and I lied. And I said, I'm married. And she was like, oh, I didn't know you were married. I go, yes, I just got married. I had to fucking use the married card when I wasn't married. Saved my ass. She left me alone. But yeah, man, it is what it is. It's preference, man. It's all it is preference. Yeah, Henry, if Lizzo throws her thong at you, it's like being caught in a fishnet. You're not getting out of that and you're gonna die, But she's big bone. She was big bone. Yeah, no such thing. Good luck. Treasonous traitor Trump. Kent L, where have you been? You've been really fucking quiet, man. Where have you been hiding, man? You've been really fucking quiet for a long time. Can't gays reproduce unless they recruit straights. Well, I guess lesbians can, right? Oh, guys, Northern Girl Hobbies is coming on at 11:15 Eastern Standard Time. I did not notice. They just threw it up there. So if you guys after this want to head over to Northern Girl Hobbies live stream or premiere, sorry, to premiere, not a live stream. It's another video she's releasing. Those videos at this time of night, guys, are pretty relaxing. So I would head over to that at the end of this and listen to her. And that background music is pretty cool, by the way. Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate it. I don't know if 20 Wall Child 20 is a man or a dude, but whatever. Thank you, I guess. Whatever. So again, guys, this whole thing about preferences is just getting out of hand now. It's really getting out of hand. People just, what I'm gonna make a cruel comparison, but not a comparison, but like for example, are special needs people gonna start going after us for not dating them? I mean, how far is this gonna go? Now, special needs people, they pretty much stay in their corner. They even they understand, that they don't normally go outside of the box. But I mean, this woe is me shit is getting carried the fuck away. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if special needs were like, why don't you date me? I could see it coming. I can see it coming. The Walmart special fucking trying to fucking ask you out on a date. And you're like, I don't want to, don't want to fucking, do anything with you. But we're people too. Whatever. I'm so sorry. But I could see that coming. It's just fuck. It's just everybody wants to play the fucking the victim card. That's what it is. Everybody wants the victim card. I don't understand. I cannot play the victim card. I can't play the victim card. I don't allow my kids to play the victim card. I don't understand. Everybody wants to be, fucking sad and shit. Shut the fuck up and move on. You'll find fucking somebody. Now listen, there was a lady. I truly felt bad for this lady. I feel bad for a few ladies out there. A lot of ladies out there. But this one lady I felt bad for. She had this werewolf disease where she grows hair on her face. Like, picture my beard all over her face. And she was like, I felt bad for her because she was like, in the video, and she was speaking Spanish. I guess she's from down south somewhere, South America somewhere. And she was just like, she's looking for love and she can't find it because she has hair on her face. She looks like the Wolfman. Like the old school Wolfman that we grew up with. She looks like that, And you look at her and you're trying to find the beauty, and you're just like, because I guess we're superficial, but nobody will date her. Thank you, Adriana, from Mexico. That's where she is. Yes, and there's a couple of people down there that have that. There are two guys that have it, and I mean the guys, I don't know, unless they strike it rich, they're not getting laid because they look like the Wolfman. Now there are people that like flurries, so maybe she can be lucky that way. But she's just like, and I felt bad for her, man, because she was like making this plea on, I don't know if it was social media or the news, but she was just making this plea that she wants to find love and she's ready for love, and and she cannot shave her face, the fat, because it just grows back. And I think one of the guys who had that problem, he shaved his face and it just looked like a 5 o'clock shadow all over his face. So I could imagine what that looks like for her. Yes, Adriana, it is a whole family that's like that too, right? I don't know if she's part of that family though, but yeah. The dog groomer would probably be a better option. Avon lady has, facial hair. This is beyond facial hair. You got to look it up. This, like I said, I felt bad for the lady. She just, and she was like 23 or 24. She's got a long way to go, man. She's going to realize that she's not going to find love. I mean, yeah, Teen Wolf. Yes, that's what they look like. Teen Wolf. Exactly like that. But their hair it's not shaggy like, whatever. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. That's all I can say. It's bad and you feel bad for her, You always feel bad for people who are sad, and especially when they're nice people who have this condition that happen to them, and they just feel bad, Listen, I am pretty sure some of you are saying this. There are Star Wars people out there who love Chewbacca. She can go to a Star Trek convention, dress up like Chewie, and she'll find a dude. I'm 1,000% sure she'll find the guy if she goes to a Comic-Con. That's probably the only way she's going to find love. right? Or I'm a constant werewolf, or whatever the fuck she does. She has to do to find love. She'll find it. She just got to think outside of the box, but she'll get there. Anyway, guys, with that, this ran a little later than I wanted to. Thank you for joining me tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'll have the Wednesday morning midweek report. We have a lot to cover. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for dealing with my bullshit. Thank you for the donation. And hopefully you guys head over to Northern Girl Hobbies premiere in 15 or 14 minutes. All right, guys, good night.